Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It's June 16th and welcome to your free video. And so what I want to let you guys know is that I made a market update video just a couple days ago, and you can go over here to simplertrading.com/news/comprehensive market analysis, or you can come, we should have this posted for you as well so you can find it, but it's also on our Simpler Trading YouTube page. Just look at broadening market strength, market update video from me. And yeah, I think it's got some interesting things in there that you should see. Of course, the market has been pretty strong. Let's kind of take a look at that real quick. Yeah, the market has been really, really strong. But at this point, we are really kind of getting up to a place where it's getting a bit frothy. Like, we are really getting outside of that third ATR and we're jumping off those moving averages. I mean, it's been a lot. So there are no exact sell signals or go short signals yet, but it is just getting up into a place that it's getting a little bit ridiculous, and you definitely need to be careful on the long side. The other thing that I do like to look at, if you look at the VIX, only noticing that it has basically started to put in a double bottom, okay? Now, again, nothing confirmed, nothing that we can work with quite yet, but it's just something to notice and pay attention to, that it's starting to pan out, go flat, compared to the market just screaming higher. What was nice to see is that we got a huge drop. That definitely supported the market, but now we're starting to see some divergences set up. You could even see that with the UVXY as well. Again, nothing quite to work with yet. You can see it's still underneath the hourly 50, it's still underneath these moving averages, but it is starting to slow its descent, and it is fairly oversold in through here. So I would be looking for something like this. Decide if you want to trade the UVXY or not, but it's just another sign and signal that I'm looking at. Another thing we can do for reference is the put-call ratio. The put-call ratio is extremely low, and you can see the last time it was low, that marked a top, and here, it was getting low and that marked a top. This is very, very low. So, everybody seems to be on one side of the boat. Of course, that can last for a while, but I would be looking for some sort of pullback. I'm looking forward to the pullback because I think that the dips will be viable. I think that this market is broadening out and actually looking pretty strong. So let me show you a couple things that I see out there. Number one, if we go, let's go back over here. And if we look at the IWM, and this is the small caps, I've been noticing some trendline supports, and this is really good confirmation about bullishness. So you can see here we've had this trend line that was going down, that marked our bear market. And then what happened? We broke out and up over that trend line. And then what happened? We came back to test that trend line. And then you can see that the market went up from there. The semis have done this, the S&P have done this, the Dow has done this. We're seeing index after index start to test the top side for support, what was their downtrending moving averages. We can also see that the IWM was flat for an entire year, and now it looks like we're breaking up and out. You can see we have a fresh Moxie price trigger, which is also marked up moves. And so yes, it's a little up there, but we should be expecting a pullback, and I want to see those pullbacks basically into strength. Another way to look at this is QQQJ, and let me get over here and we look at the higher time frame charts. This is something I've been talking about and just ad nauseum for a lot of things. It sure looks to me like these ETFs are done going down. Okay, they're done going down. They are getting over their higher time frame moving averages, and you can see we've had a pretty big bar here. That looks great. And on the weekly chart, you can also see that we are now over all the moving averages. You can see we got over, we came back, we pulled back into support, and now we're up, off, and moving again. So this looks really good long term. And then if we come over here and we look a little bit more narrowly down in this area, you can see that same trend line. Look, here's trend line, and what did it do? It broke up and over the trend line and then came back down and tested the trend line, and boom, there it goes. So we are seeing a lot of strength, confirmation of these trend line breaks. Gosh, you can even see, I was noticing jets. Look at this. This is the airlines. And yes, they have been very strong, and look what they did. You can see here perfectly, just like the IWM, you had these trend lines going down like this, and then they break up and over the trend line, come back down to test the trend line, and then off it goes. So yeah, seeing a lot of good strength out there. Another area that suddenly woke up today, in fact, if you guys wanted to look at this, GBTC, which is the ETF of Bitcoin, Hey, say what you will about this particular ETF, but I use it as a just a point of reference to see what is the overall thing doing. And what I like to see is here is price pulling back into the monthly 10 SMA. And what you can see is that looks like an inverse head and shoulders. So again, looks like price is pulling back into support, much like what we saw with the QQQJ and that we're seeing with all the other major major indices. And if we come over here, you can see the same thing. We had price pull back right there into the the weekly 30, the weekly 50. We still have the 8 over the 21. The Moxie indicator is going to be firing probably pretty soon, and that would be a perfect place for price to find support and the Moxie indicator to fire. So that looks pretty good. And if we come over here and we look at the daily chart and the hourly chart, you can see that as price has been moving down, notice the Moxie indicator has been moving up. And only now in this section has the Moxie indicator actually started to fire the green, fire over zero, get those price triggers going. The Moxie indicator does a really good job as far as timing goes. And you can see right there we have a fresh signal and boom, huge move today on big volume, big volume today. So, if Bitcoin is starting to come alive for whatever reason, I know there's been some issues with the SEC and regulation and all that kind of stuff. Hey, maybe there was a piece of news that came down with that I'm not aware of quite yet. And you know what? We can look at that is HUT looks like it's doing pretty well. Now, the miners have been hanging out for quite some time. They weren't moving too much, kind of just going sideways. But look at this. They're breaking out in big volume. And then if we even look at Mara, Mara not doing anything yet, but this might be the beginning. The fact that Mara and the other Bitcoin miners went sideways while Bitcoin actually went down seems like it should be a signal of relative strength and that nobody wanted to sell. So I think that is another thing to look at, is that nobody sold while Bitcoin itself actually faded. And I think that should be a sign of strength. And now all we're doing is just waiting for this to break out. So HUT did. Keep an eye on it and see what you guys can do there. Again, hope you guys enjoy the video, the market update video, and we'll see you at the next one. Enjoy. Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.